Hi, I'm Tom Gledhill of Murphy Business. In the last video titled Decision to Sell, we examined the results of the business valuation coupled with a number of other factors that in total determine your readiness to exit the business. As a result, you decided to sell the company. In this video, we're going to discuss the different buyer categories and their characteristics. We'll also discuss the components of a business marketing plan. So follow along with me as we examine the main elements that comprise a marketing plan for your company. Before we get into the process of marketing the company, let's examine the categories of potential buyers. The basic categories of business buyers are individuals, private equity groups, and corporations. Individuals typically buy companies for less than $3 million, and they usually are buying a job. You must check the individual buyer for financial and experience viability. Individuals require financing, and they must have cash for a down payment and the appropriate business experience. Some seller financing is usually involved for individual buyers. Private equity groups, or PEGs, are typically groups of experienced business people who use investors' money to buy companies. PEGs are usually interested in companies with EBITDAs greater than $1 million. PEGs' due diligence is usually intensive, and they are classified as financial buyers since they are looking to maximize their return on investment for their investors. PEGs will often buy a majority stake, 60 to 80% or so, in a company, leaving the owner and management intact. They'll build the company for about 5 years and sell it. This is called recapitalization and gives the business owner 2 opportunities to make money. Corporations are typically strategic buyers. They may be interested in your technology, your location, your customer base, or some other strategic asset. In some situations, this can mean a premium price for your company, depending on how badly the corporation wants what they perceive as a strategic asset. Corporations with revenues of about $20 million and above often have an M&A specialist on staff or under contract. In dealing with corporations, it is a good idea to contract with a professional broker advisor to even the playing field. If you can determine with an educated guess what type of buyer would buy your company, you may be able to position your company for maximum value. You want to do this early, as it may take 1 or 2 years to accomplish. For instance, if you have a software company and you decide that the most probable acquirer would be a larger competitor with a similar product, it's a good bet that they're not interested in your technology, but in your customer base. So instead of further investing in technology, you would invest in sales to increase your customer base. Now that we've defined the buyer types, we're ready to develop a marketing plan. The first thing we need to do is develop the Confidential Memorandum, or CM, sometimes called the Book or Business Review. The CM is an exhaustive marketing report detailing all facets of the business. Next, we develop the blind profile, which is essentially an executive summary without name or location so that the company cannot be identified. The next step depends on the expected buyer type for your company. If the expected buyer type is a corporation or a PEG, oftentimes both are candidates, we will select about 50 of each that we believe may be interested in the business. We will then send the key person in the organization a letter with direct mail with the blind profile enclosed. We always follow up with a phone call because a large percentage of the letters are never opened, but the mention of an acquisition opportunity usually sparks their interest, even if it's just in a voice message. In addition, we also place a blind profile ad on selected websites. If the expected buyer type is an individual, we place the blind profile ad on several websites. We check our buyer database for prospective acquirers, and we contact other broker advisors to determine if they have interested buyers. After reviewing the blind profile, those prospective buyers who want further information must sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, before they are sent the confidential memorandum. If the prospective buyer is an individual, they must submit proof of financial and experience viability. In this video, we discuss the different types of business buyers and their characteristics. We also discuss the main components of a marketing plan. With the plan in place and the appropriate marketing instruments developed, we're ready to implement the plan. A good plan based on expected buyer type and professionally developed marketing documents should garner some interest in the business. In the next video, we'll examine the process of choosing a buyer. I'm Tom Gledhill, and I'll see you at the next video.